The January transfer window is over, with multiple teams doing business to boost their Premier League ambitions, while others decide against dipping into the market. Today we're going to rate every Premier League team's January transfer business out of 10, and don't forget to leave your ratings in the comments below. Arsenal needed to boost their defence in January, and that's exactly what they didn't do. Unai Emery made just one signing, bringing in Denis Suarez on loan on deadline day. Is Suarez a good signing? Based on his cameo against City, no. The bloke seemed to lose the ball every time he got it, but that's only one appearance, I'm sure he'll pick up. But the Gunners didn't improve their defence, so we'll give them just a 5.5 out of 10. Bournemouth were one of the busier teams, raiding Liverpool to bring in Dominic Solanke and Nathaniel Clyne. They definitely overspent on Solanke, sending 19 million quid to Anfield for some reason. Clyne is certainly a better signing and will boost their defence between now and the end of the season. Their third signing was Chris Mepham from Brentford, who hopefully had the same impact as Eddie Howe's previous signings from the Championship. And to cap it all off, they managed to keep Callum Wilson. A decent month for Bournemouth gets them a 7 out of 10. Okay, Brighton made a few signings this month, but none of them are going to be pushing for the first team. In fact, all three of them have gone straight back on loan at the team they signed them from. Clearly Chris Hughton has an eye towards the future with these deals, but since they aren't going to aid the immediate cause at Brighton, we'll give them a 4.5 out of 10. Next it's Burnley, who completed one of the oddest deals of the month. Yes, Peter Crouch is a Premier League player once again. At 38 years old, the podcast favourite is back in the top flight, with Sam Vokes going the other way to Stoke. I mean, this isn't a great deal, is it? I know Crouch is a likeable character, but can he really bring much to the party other than some dance moves and tales of years gone by? Burnley didn't do enough in the summer, and they haven't in January either, so it's a 4 out of 10. Cardiff's January was an emotional one, with the signing and disappearance of Emiliano Sala. Our thoughts are with his family, and both Cardiff and Nantes have put on fantastic tributes for the Argentinian. For the purpose of this video, our rating for Cardiff won't reflect the Sala signing, but I'm sure he would have done brilliantly in Wales. So Cardiff did bring in Oumar Niasse on loan, a decent player who will boost their forward ranks, which he proved playing against the Cherries. Leandro Bacuna is hardly inspiring though, as he was awful at Villa. Niasse is positive though, so we'll give Cardiff a 6.5 out of 10. On to Chelsea, who signed two players this month, although we won't say one of them until the summer. Christian Pulisic has agreed a deal to move to Stamford Bridge from Borussia Dortmund, but will stay in Germany until the end of the season. Chelsea also fixed their striking woes, signing Alvaro Morata to Atletico Madrid and bringing in Gonzalo Higuain, who's hit the ground running in London. The Argentine is perfectly suited to Sarri's system and will score a lot of goals for Chelsea. An impressive month, we're going to give them a 9.5 out of 10. Had it not been for a late move on deadline day, it would have been an awful month for Crystal Palace. But in the dying hours of the window, Crystal Palace swooped to bring in Michy Batshuayi on loan. The Belgian has now been tasked with scoring the goals to keep the Eagles in the division, having cut his time at Valencia short. Batshuayi scored key goals in the past, notably a title-winning strike for Chelsea, and Roy Hodgson will be praying he can have a similar impact at Selhurst Park. Batshuayi could keep them in the division, so it's a 9 out of 10. Next we've got Everton, who are our first team not to sign anyone this month. Well, last month, it's now February. All they did was send a few players out on loan, but they did manage to keep Idrissa Gana Gueye at the club, which is definitely a good thing. However, they didn't fix their striker woes, so we'll give Everton a 4.5 out of 10. Fulham needed to improve their defence in January, and it's fair to say they haven't really done that, with the only defender arriving being Havard Nordveit from Hoffenheim on loan, and he was hardly a hit a few years back at West Ham. Ryan Babel and Lazar Markovic had some craft to the attack, but offensively Fulham didn't have any issues. It's a 4 out of 10 for Claudio Ranieri and co. Next it's bottom of the league Huddersfield, who lost their manager in January with David Wagner resigning. On top of that, they didn't really do enough in the terms of signings. Jason Punch will add a bit more creativity to their midfield, but Carlin Grant has never played in the top flight and will hardly score the goals to keep the Terriers in the Premier League. While he might be decent in the Championship next season, it's all about the here and now, so we're giving Huddersfield a 3 out of 10. Leicester completed their only signing of the month on deadline day, and it was certainly an exciting one for players of Football Manager. Yuri Tielemans arrived on loan from Monaco, allowing Adrian Silva to go the other way. The Foxes have done a great piece of business, as Silva wasn't getting a kick, and Tielemans can add some extra flair to midfield that has been getting criticised by fans for being too negative under Claude Puel. A strong signing, so we'll give Leicester an 8 out of 10. Liverpool didn't sign anyone this month, but considering some of the players they let go, we're actually going to give them a grade. First up a positive, and the money they got for Dom Solanke is obscene, so well done to Liverpool hierarchy for that. But letting Nathaniel Clyne go was definitely a mistake, made clearer last week when Jordan Henderson had to play right back. One positive, one negative, so we'll give Liverpool a 5 out of 10. Manchester City also didn't sign anyone this month, but they did also sell a player for big money. Brahim Diaz decided to turn his back on City and move back to Spain, joining Real Madrid for £15.5 million. Considering they could have potentially lost him for nothing, this has to go down as good business. They also sold Rabi Matondo for decent money, so we'll give City a 7 out of 10 from a financial standpoint. 3 teams in a row who haven't signed anyone. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't allowed to dip into the transfer kit in his first transfer window in charge. Not that it's mattered, with the Red Devils doing brilliantly under the Norwegian. Other than Marouane Fellaini leaving for China, nothing of note happened, so I don't know, 4 out of 10? I suppose Fellaini's at least off the wage bill. Should I even grade this? Who knows? So amazingly, Newcastle United have broke their transfer record, with Miguel Almiron costing £21 million, the most the Magpies have paid for a player since Michael Owen back in 2005. The Paraguayans arrived from Atlanta United and will hopefully add a touch of class to Rafa Benitez's organised and resolute side. They also signed Antonio Barreca on loan, who doesn't arrive with too much hysteria. Overall though, the Magpies get a 7.5 out of 10. For a team in a relegation battle, you'd think Southampton would have done some business in January. But no, they didn't sign a single player and actually had quite a few first team players leave St Mary's. Stephen Davis, Manolo Gabbiadini, Wesley Hoot and Cedric Suarez left the club, and while they haven't been key players, surely they should have been replaced. A risky strategy by Southampton, who get a 1 out of 10. For the second transfer window in a row, Tottenham have signed nobody. They also sold one of their best players in Moussa Dembele and failed to bring in a replacement. It's a good job that new stadium's ready to be used, isn't it? Oh wait, no it isn't. It's a 0.5 out of 10 for Spurs, who should have done something this window. Watford were quiet this month, but the main positive was that they kept hold of Abdoulaye Doucouré, who is arguably the best player at Vicarage Road right now. Watford made just one signing, bringing in young goalkeeper Adam Parks from Southampton. I'll be honest, don't know a thing about him. Watford didn't really need to do any business, and they kept their best player, so we'll give them a tentative 6 out of 10. Next we've got West Ham, whose window was dominated by the Marko Arnautovic saga. It ended with the Austrian signing a new 1-year contract, but this one will no doubt rear its ugly head once again in the summer. Samir Nasri came in on a free, and he'll be a decent sign if he gets back to his best, and they also brought in a 19-year-old forward from Benfica. Overall, we'll give the Hammers a 7 out of 10. And finally, we've got Wolves, who were quiet in January, unable to sign a striker despite links with Tammy Abraham and the Iranian Messi. One deal they did complete was a permanent one for defender Johnny, arriving for a club record equalling fee of £18 million. Based on his performances so far, making this loan deal a permanent one is a fantastic piece of business by Wolves, and Raul Jimenez's performances up front mean they aren't missing that new striker. Wolves are going to get an 8 out of 10 for January. So that's every Premier League club's January transfer business rated out of 10. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.